Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a multi-character expositioner by me. So let's get into it. Venti. Venti actually does not get jealous a lot. For the most part, nothing could really get him jealous. He knows the bond between you two, and just how true it is. It is unbreakable, and no one could come between you at all. So the idea of getting jealous and acting a little bit childish like that, well, that's how he sees it anyway. That's not really his thing. He's more of a trust you type of person because he loves you and trusts you, and he knows that whatever situation you're put in, you're going to be able to make the right choice. And he knows that you love him anyway. So what's there to worry about? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That's what he tells himself over and over. When he sees that guy who keeps constantly flirting with you, maybe you haven't noticed. Maybe you simply do not care. But the way you start to laugh at his jokes, it makes a nasty feeling rise up within Venti, and he feels like he needs to act, to do something about this. He can't just stand there and watch. And he was a fool for thinking he was immune to jealousy, because it plagued everyone. Of course, to different degrees, but no one was immune from it, and not even him. So that's why he went up to him, smiling in a passive-aggressive manner. You know, Lian has a partner, so I'd prefer it if you took your leave and knew your limits. But I wasn't even telling her anything. From what I'm seeing, that does not seem to be the case. So don't you go lying to me. I'm not here to make a conversation with you. Go. And if the guy does not go, then Venti will surely play a very nasty prank on him. But he does go, much to Venti's relief. And although you seem a little bit suspicious of the interaction that happened, as the guy had seemed to leave quite quickly, you don't pay much attention. After all, you're not really going to focus on the random interaction. Not when Venti has his arms around your waist, smiling as he looks at you. You look really pretty today, Mayan. Really? You think so? Of course I do. That's why I'm telling you that. He responds, kissing your cheek and holding you close. And if he acts clingy and perhaps a little bit more affectionate throughout the night, you act like you don't notice, although you have no idea what he's on about, and only he will truly know. Lyney. Now, Lyney can get very, very upset at this kind of thing. He loves you very much, and he could be quite protective of you. So that's why he takes this jealousy thing very seriously. He tries not to let it get to him. He tries his very best. But that doesn't mean he succeeds every time, or at all sometimes. And today, for example, he had really tried. But it seems as though he has failed at doing what he wanted, and that's why he got so jealous and so worked up about something really insignificant in the bigger picture. There was a client of yours on a project that you were working on, and he seemed to be looking at you in a different type of way. Lenny would understand. He's met a lot of people, bad ones, good ones. He's seen it all. And this person in particular, they did not seem like someone with good intentions. Or at the very least, they did not seem to be interested in a friendship or relationship. And they looked at you from a different kind of angle. And that's why I started to feel anxious. Their smiles, and the way you would laugh along with them, the way you seemed to be closer. And then, they had hugged you. He knew that you and your clans would always become friends towards the end of a project sometimes, and that was fine. Some of your friends, and his too, were through your projects, the ones that you've worked on, because they were really nice people. But this one in particular, that was not a good person, and he knew that. So I'd immediately stepped in, pushing him away. Just what do you think you're doing here? He had asked them straight away, pushing you behind him while you looked up at him in pure confusion. This was not how he acted usually, and this was so out of character for him. And yet, it was too interesting not to watch play out. It did end up in a fight, a big one, and the person had stormed off, and only you and Lyney remained at the scene. And only then had he realized that it was such a small thing in the end, so insignificant, something that you could have let pass. Oyan, I'm really sorry. I was just, I got jealous, and it got the best of me. It's fine, Lyney, you said, wrapping your arms around him. But next time, please, please don't interfere like this. If someone's trying to make advances or something, I'll understand. I'm not stupid, and I'll stop them. But don't insert yourself in a situation like this. I'll deal with my problems on my own. And unless I ask you, you don't need to interfere. You trust me, don't you? And as he looked you in the eyes, he couldn't help but feel himself soften, cupping your face as you leaned in, pressing a soft kiss to your forehead. I trust you. That's true. Xiao. Now, Xiao can be really, really indifferent most of the time. And most of the time, situations like normal interactions don't attract his attention. But with you attract his attention a lot. And as such, an interaction with someone, although could be normal, will garner some attention from him. But this interaction with this person in particular, it was just off to him. The way they kept talking sweet to you and calling you sweetie and other names, it did not sit right with him at all. And at one point, he could see that it was not just the jealousy as well, but he seemed to be getting progressively uncomfortable. And that's when he immediately knew that he had to step in. He couldn't just stand there and watch. At first, he thought that he was being paranoid, jealous over nothing. But if his thoughts were correct, then he knew that he should act. Hey, you, get away from her. And the person had called him ridiculous right then. But Xiao was ready to fight, and he had threatened them so. And that's when they knew just how serious he was about the entire thing, and they had immediately left. After it was over, he had tried to cool down, taking a deep breath and closing his eyes. I really can't handle those people. They don't know their limits. They don't know basic respect, or anything at all. Oyan, are you alright? I am. Don't worry about me, Xiao. You tell him. You're still a little bit shaken after the entire ordeal, but a part of you is also very endeared by the situation, and your heart is fluttering in your chest. The way that he was so willing to fight for you, and to upset anyone who was willing to make you uncomfortable, it did make him a little bit more attractive. You had to admit that. And that's why you had immediately wrapped your arms around him, burying your face into his chest. He was still for a moment, looking at you with wide eyes, like he was completely caught off guard, A part of him was afraid that you'd be mad at him for interfering or something, but he was glad that you were comforted. And he put a hand on top of your head, going through your hair gently. I'll be here for you, Ayan. Always. So don't you worry about a thing.